Welcome to tonight, and this is Leaders Are Readers, and we are busy with a book from Og Mandino called The Greatest Miracle in the World. This is me, Doc Ant, your host, and also our co-host, Daniel van Zyl. We've had so much fun. It's been wonderful. And tonight is part 3 of chapter 9 of God's Memorandum. I can tell you that the previous 2 chapters have been absolutely amazing. That part 1 and part 2. Now part 3. We'll be going to the next secret to be unlocked on this journey. So bear with me as we just get the presentation going. Right, so it's going to be share screen and share the sound, share. And Daniel, just give me a thumbs up if it's the right one.
And the second law is like unto the first. Proclaim your rarity. You'd condemned yourself to a potter's field, and there you lay, unable to forgive your own failure, destroying yourself with self-hate, self-incrimination, and revulsion at your crimes against yourself and others. Are you not perplexed? Do you not wonder why he's able to forgive your failures, your transgressions, your pitiful demeanor when you cannot forgive yourself? I address you now for 3 reasons. You need him. You are not one of a herd headed for destruction in a gray mass of mediocrity, and you are a great rarity. Consider a painting by Rembrandt, or a bronze by Degas, or a violin by Stradivarius, or a play by Shakespeare. They have great value for 2 reasons. Their creators were masters, and they are few in number. Yet there are more of one of each of these. On that reasoning, you are the most valuable treasure on the face of the earth, for you know who created you, and there is only one of you. Never in all the 70 billion humans who've walked this planet since the beginning of time has there been anyone exactly like you. Never until the end of time will there be another such as you. You have shown no knowledge or appreciation of your uniqueness, yet you are the rarest thing in the world. From your Father in his moment of supreme love flowed countless seeds of love, more than 400 million in number. All of them, as they swam within your mother, gave up the ghost and died, all except one. You. You alone persevered within the loving warmth of your mother's body, searching for your other half, a single cell from your mother, so small that more than 2 million would be necessary to fill an acorn shell. Yet despite impossible odds, in that vast ocean of darkness and disaster, you persevered, found that infinitesimal cell, joined with it, and began a new life. Your life. You arrived, bringing with you, as does every child, the message that God has not yet been discouraged of man. 2 cells now united in a miracle. 2 cells, each containing 23 chromosomes, and within each chromosome, hundreds of genes which would govern every characteristic about you, from the color of your eyes to the charm of your manner, to the size of your brain. With all the combinations at his command, beginning with that single sperm from your father's 400 million, through the hundreds of genes in each of the chromosomes that your mother and father, he could have created 300,000 billion humans, each different from the other. But who did he bring forth? You. One of a kind, rarest of the rare, a priceless treasure, possessed of qualities in mind and speech and movement and appearance and actions as no other who has ever lived, lives, or shall live. Why have you valued yourself in pennies when you are worth a king's ransom? Why did you listen to those who demeaned you? And far worse, why did you believe them? Take counsel. No longer hide your rarity in the dark. Bring it forth. Show the world. Strive not to walk as your brother walks, nor talk as your leader talks, nor labor as do the mediocre. Never do as another, never imitate. For how do you know that you may not imitate evil? And he who imitates evil always goes beyond the example set, while he who imitates what is good always falls short. Imitate no one. Be yourself. Show your rarity to the world, and they will shower you with gold. This, then, is the second law. Proclaim your rarity. And now you've received 2 laws. Count your blessings. Proclaim your rarity. You have no handicaps. You are not mediocre. You nod. You force a smile. You admit your self-deception, but what of your next complaint? Opportunity never seeks thee? Take counsel, and it shall come to pass, for now I give you the law of success in every venture. Many centuries ago, this law was given to your forefathers from a mountaintop. Some heeded the law, and lo, their life was filled with the fruit of happiness, accomplishment, gold, and peace of mind. Most listened not, for they sought magic means, devious routes, or waited for the devil called luck to deliver them the riches of life. They waited in vain, just as you waited, and then they wept, blaming their lack of fortune. The law is simple. Young or old, pauper or king, white or black, male or female, all can use this secret to their advantage, for all the rules and speeches and scriptures of success and how to attain it, only one method has never failed. Whomsoever shall compel you to go with him 1 mile, go with him 2. This then is the third law, the secret that will produce riches and acclaim beyond your dreams. Go another mile. The only certain means of success is to render more and better service than is expected of you, no matter what your task may be. This is a habit followed by all successful people since the beginning of time. Therefore, I say the surest way to doom yourself to mediocrity is to perform only the work for which you are paid. Think not you are being cheated if you deliver more than the silver you receive, for there is a pendulum to all life, and the sweat you deliver, if not rewarded today, will swing back tomorrow tenfold. The mediocre never goes another mile, for why should he cheat himself, he thinks, but you are not mediocre. To go another mile is a privilege you must appropriate by your own initiative. You cannot, you must not avoid it. Neglect it, do only as little as the others, and the responsibility for your failure is yours alone. You can no more render service without receiving just compensation than you can withhold the rendering of it without suffering the loss of reward. Cause and effect, means and ends, seed and fruit, these cannot be separated. The effect already blooms in the cause. The end pre-exists in the means. The fruit is always in the seed. Go another mile. Concern yourself not. Should you serve an ungrateful master, serve him more. And instead of him, let it be God who is in your debt. For then you will know that every minute, every stroke of extra service will be repaid. And worry not should your reward not come soon. For the longer payment is withheld, the better for you. And compound interest on compound interest is this law's greatest benefit. You cannot command success. You can only deserve it. And now you know the great secret necessary in order to merit its rare reward. Go another mile.
There you have it. Wow. How is that? So for the guys reading in the books with us and others who are listening and making notes, please get your pencils out, your pens, and make sure that you make a lot of notes. Because we're on the top of page number 97, and it starts with, and the second law is like unto the first, proclaim your rarity. Now, Daniel, isn't it true that we are so often scared to speak out in terms of what we bring to the party? But here it
Yes,
is
because
the instruction.
it's always that thing of we don't believe in ourselves. It comes back to that belief system and the hope that we have in ourselves. And we don't understand most people don't understand how rare they are, and that's what this whole passage is talking. This is what we're doing, went through now, is how rare are you? You are extremely rare, and you need to be you, because other you were put on the. I will say, see it as this: is I was put on this earth for the reason. As we go through this, you'll see why I say and why I believe that.
Absolutely. Well, I find it hard to actually sort of call it blow your own trumpet by proclaiming your
Yes,
rarity. But then again, this is God speaking to you and saying to you, but that's exactly that whisper on your shoulder says, don't do it. It's not from
yeah,
me. I'm
yeah.
telling you, proclaim your rarity. Because look at the very next sentence. You take us through, Daniel, the condemnation. Go for it.
Where it says, you condemned yourself to a potter's field, and there you lay, unable to forgive your own failure, destroying yourself with self-hate, self-incrimination, and revulsion at your crimes against yourself and others. And that's exactly what I said in when you ask me what is proclaim your rarity, is that people rather look down on themselves instead of like realizing, well, wow, I am rare, I am special, I am here for a reason. I might not know it right now, or you might not be in the place where you understand why you're there, but there's a reason why you were created.
I think of that song that kids often sing. Nobody loves me. Everybody hates me. I'm going to eat some worms, bit fat, juicy ones. You sort of speak it over your own life all the time when you sing
Yes,
those kind of songs. And no wonder they're asking in the book there, but why are you in revulsion of the crimes against yourself and
yes,
others? No. Are you not perplexed? I mean, come on, proclaim your rarity. Do
yeah,
you not wonder why you're able to forgive your failures, your transgressions, your pitiful demeanor when you cannot forgive yourself? Oh, I think there's the key. And that is that when you look at yourself, when God says to you, proclaim your rarity, and your mind goes to, but look at all the self-hate, the discrimination, etc. And he says, but hold on, there you have it. Why can you not forgive yourself? And we
yeah,
need to take the step of saying, I will forgive myself. That's the only way to get out of this. All right.
yeah. I always have the saying is, you cannot, when you know better, you can do better. If you don't know better, you can't do better. So if you don't know, as I say, how to forgive yourself, then obviously you're not gonna be able to do it. But when you know, it's like, hey, but it's not my fault. I'm just in this situation, maybe not by my own mistake, but I have the power to actually get out of here and to understand. It's like, yes, you might have failures in the past. Yes, you might have done things wrong, but that's not the end.
That's
That's
true.
maybe a lesson you had. That's maybe a lesson you had to learn to be the person you are now, because what's coming is you need that.
Absolutely. And what's bold is God now speaks. He says, I address you now
Yes.
for three reasons. So listen up. Why three reasons? One, you need me. Oh,
Yeah.
guys, he says straight, we need him. Two, you're not one of a herd heading for destruction in a gray mass of mediocrity. In other words, we have not been created to be like the animals. We're different. We've got cognitive
Yeah.
powers. We are
Free
people of
will.
reason. We're human beings. Okay.
Yeah.
So one is we need him. Two is we're not like the animals. And then three is you are a great rarity. In other words, when God looks at us
Yeah.
and says, no, 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 Daniel, you are a great rarity. Anthony, you're a great rarity.
Yes.
So those are the three things that he literally speaks to us about and says, wake up. Give us some examples. He takes it further. Now he actually compares us.
And now it's, yeah, it goes into what is, now your question is like, okay, yourself is like, what is a great rarity? I mean, if God says I'm a rarity, what is a great rarity? And they go into, it's like a painting from Rembrandt, or a bronze from Degas, or violinist from Stradivarius, which is like major people, is like great people that played violin. Rembrandt made paintings, and the Degas made bronze sculptures, and even speak about Shakespeare, the plays of Shakespeare. So these are phenomenal people in our history, that stands out to us, and that is basically the rarity. You are exactly the same as them in God's eyes.
And here's a comparison. You know, we as people, when you speak about the paintings that Rembrandt did, I mean, especially like
Yes.
myself, that stood in France and the same in England, in those great museums, and I
Yeah.
see these paintings, and I see the Rembrandts, and I'm like, oh my word. And we are in awe about something
Yeah.
created by a person that created that rarity. But God says, no, the same way you look at that, I want you to look at you and go
Yeah.
like, oh my word, look at Daniel. I
Wow.
made
Yeah.
him the way he is. I mean, that's why you smile, China. I'm
Exactly.
watching you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he says, then, on that reasoning, you are the most valuable treasure on the face of the earth, for you know who created you, and there's only one of
One
you.
of you.
Now, Daniel, for me, that hit me a little bit. God forbid there's another one of me. I mean, there's enough havoc with one around. But then again, tongue in cheek, taking it away, the fact that he actually emphasizes this is only one
Yes.
of you, only one
Yeah.
of me, only one of you, and there never will be another you. What?
Yeah, that's the hardest thing for me. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm here now, but is there ever gonna be a replica of me?
Correct.
And even if you clone yourself, the clone is never gonna be the same, because the clone is never gonna be never going to live the life that you have lived. So they can't be
Absolutely.
the same.
Well, I think God sums it up with a very, very punchy statement that starts with the
Yeah.
word never. Give it to us, Daniel.
Never in the 7 billion humans who have walked this planet since the beginning of the time is there ever been anyone exactly like you.
That's it. No one.
It might be close, but not exactly
No
like
one.
you.
And then he stresses the second never.
Never until the end of time will there be another such as you. And
Well,
when God says never, yeah, that's like zero and below zero. Yeah, it doesn't exist.
well, if you're listening to this tonight, I'd like you to right now type in the word never will there be another person like me. Type
Yeah.
it in, because that's an affirmation that you are accepting that is which is spoken over you, because it's a spoken
Yeah.
word, it's powerful, it's real, and there never will be another you. Because it actually continues to say, you have shown no knowledge or appreciation of your uniqueness, yet you're the
Yes.
rarest thing in the world. Now, God is literally giving us a little bit of a soft slap on the face, on the cheek here, to say,
Wake up.
listen, you show no knowledge or appreciation of your uniqueness, but I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you are the rarest thing in the world. And now he's going to proceed
Yeah.
to tell us why. Take us through the process.
Yeah. We start with, from your father, a moment of supreme love followed countless seeds of love, more than 400 million in number, all
Wow.
of them as they swam within your mother.
And that's
That's a
crazy.
lot.
400 million. And 400 million of them gave up the ghost and died, all except one.
One.
And who's that one? You.
You.
Me. Wow. Okay. I just shake my head. It says, you alone persevered within the loving warmth of your mother's body, searching for the other half, a single cell from your mother, so small that more than 2 million would be necessary to fill an acorn shell. Yet, despite impossible odds in that vast ocean of darkness and disaster, you persevered. You found that infinite cell, you joined with it, and began a new life. Your life.
Your life.
What are the chances? 400 million. One.
Yeah, 1 in 400 million. Yeah, that's a lot.
I think when you actually, and this is
Scarce.
why I say to people, take your pen and write out in four,
The digits, yeah.
write the digits, 400, naught, 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 400 million. Only one. And that's now you.
4 and 8 zeros.
I mean, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. Okay, so talk about the cells in this miracle for me, Daniel.
Then he say, you arrive bringing with you, as does every child, the message that I was not yet discouraged of man.
Let's just
2
stop there quickly.
cells.
Let's stop there. I'm going to go, you're going to go to 2 cells just now. But God says he was not discouraged by making man, because he could have stopped. He could have stopped creating.
Yes. Yeah.
Because he gives the ability for procreation. And he says you could have stopped, but yet he was not discouraged of man yet. Doesn't matter how bad we think we are. When he looks at
Yeah.
us, he sees a miracle. When he looks at us, He says, you are a rarity. Because remember,
Yeah.
the first lesson was count your blessings. We did that. Now we're proclaiming that rarity, and it just jumps out at us. Can I talk about the selves for us?
Now it goes even deeper about how rare the cell is, since we made from the cell. He says 2 cells, each containing 23 chromosomes, and within each chromosome, hundreds of genes which would govern every characteristic about you, from the color of your eyes, to the charm of your manner, to the size of your brain.
Wow. 23 chromosomes. And that, and hundreds of genes. Hundreds.
Yes.
Obviously,
Yes.
some from your father, some from your mother, and uniquely makes you. That's why often when you actually look at a child, it either resembles the father or the mother, and sometimes a combination of
Yeah.
both, because some of those genes or those traits in those chromosomes are inherited. But still, you are uniquely you. No one
Yeah.
else will ever be like you. So it speaks about all the combinations. It's at my command,
Yeah,
beginning
that's
with a single sperm from your father's 400 million through the hundreds of genes, each of these chromosomes from your mother and your father. I could have created 300,000 billion humans, each different from the other. But who did I bring forth? You,
you.
one of a kind.
One of a kind.
That actually made me think God could have, instead of just making you and me, could have continued and creating more and more and more people. But he's working at rarity. That means out of 400 million, those 2 cells merging, becoming one, the 23 chromosomes and the genes, is actually trying to. I'm seeing like an artist has got a paintbrush in his hand. He's trying to paint a picture in terms of
Yes.
how rare we really are. And I'm getting it because as an artist, I can see that paintbrush. I can see it. So continue,
I
Daniel.
see it a little bit greater. I mean, let me blow your mind a little bit on this one.
Okay.
You're one out of 300,000 billion options.
Wow. Wow. Laugh at
Because
ourselves, guys.
each chromosome, or the if you basically what he says here is like, out of that three, yeah, I'm gonna read it again because it's like a huge number. 300,000 billion humans.
And they're all
God
different.
chose you.
And they're all different from each other. Wow.
Yes.
Now you've got reason to say,
Now
I'm
you're rare.
rarest of the rare. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about a steak. I'm talking about
Yes.
rarest of the rare. But look what he says. He says, a priceless treasure, possessed of qualities in mind and speech and movement and appearance and actions, as no other who has ever lived, lives, or shall live. Now, there are
Wow.
2 main thoughts here. One, he speaks about mind. He says, your
Yeah.
mind is unique, your
Thought. Yeah.
speech, your movement, your appearance, your actions. I mean, those are 5 things that he mentions. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what is 5? Grace. It's just
Wow.
pure grace, the way that he's made you, the way he's made me. And he says, as no one who's ever lived, that's in the past, lives, that is now, and
Today.
shall
Yeah.
live, future.
In future.
I mean, when we talk about generations, we talk about past generation, the current generation, and the future generation. No one ever. Now, is that rare enough? Absolutely. So
Yeah.
now God asks you a little question, Daniel. You lead with that question.
Why have you valued yourself in pennies when you are worth a king's ransom?
Now, why does he say a king's ransom? Why? Because he is the King of Kings.
Kings, yeah.
That's why when they come to basically accost us, they're costing the King of Kings best prized possession. That's a scary part. And then he
And if you
says,
think
what?
if you go a little bit deeper on that king's ransom,
Yeah,
God sent Jesus to die for us on the cross. That's a ransom he paid for us for eternity.
correct. That's
That's
a
the
life given to us.
biggest ransom
That
that
is
you can
huge.
ever think about.
That is the biggest gift ever.
Yes.
Biggest gift ever. And then he sort of ask another question. Why did you listen to those who demeaned you? And far worse, why did you believe them? And that is
Yes.
that, kids are so cruel. They look at a child with some form of impediment and they mock the child. And Believe me, adults still mock adults today. It's just a
Yeah.
way of mankind that we always try and pull down rather than build up. Obviously, from this, I'm learning, please rather build than break down. But he's saying to us, why did you believe them? Let's
Yeah.
stop believing them. And then he says, take counsel. Now, what counsel is he giving us? Go, Daniel.
Just to go on that one itself is like, yes, we can't stop people saying bad things to us,
Yeah.
right? That's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's the second part of it that's very important. Don't believe it. Stop
Yeah.
believing the foolishness that's been talk about you. It's one thing if somebody says it and you unfortunately have to hear it, but it's another when you start believing what others tell,
So
the
here's an
lies they
action for
tell.
anybody listening in. Right now, type there, I will never again believe people
Yes.
when they tell me I can't do it. Or I never
Yeah.
again will believe people when they tell me I'm not good enough. Never again. I think that's taking action.
That's the thing, yeah.
Okay. So God
Okay, then
speaks
he
about
says, take
next one.
counsel.
Yeah, what does that mean?
No longer hide your rarity in the dark. Bring it forth. Show the world. Strive not to walk in your brother's walks, nor talk as your leader talks, nor labor as do the mediocre. Never do as another. Never imitate.
That's it.
For
Yeah, cool.
yeah.
Go.
For how do you know that you may not imitate evil? And now it becomes interesting. And he who imitates evil always goes beyond the example set, while he who imitates what is good always falls short. Imitate no one.
Firstly, there, what I circled, there was show the world. You
Yeah.
know, a child that is proud will stand up and speak in front of a class and be proud and give like what is their story. You and
Yeah.
I, the moment we stand up, I mean, we all of a sudden we've lost that natural thing. We've become fearful. We've actually
Yeah.
denied ourselves, and then we've gone even worse. Now we think I'm not good good enough. So now we start
Yes.
imitating your boss. You start imitating a friend, and he just says, "Stop it."
Yeah.
Because when you do that, you always will be falling short. And he gives an
Yes.
instruction: be yourself.
Yourself.
So
Yes.
what do we have to do? Let's write in the bottom tonight, I will be myself
Be
from now
yourself.
onwards. Well done. For you doing it, high five. There we go. 100%. Share your rarity to the world and they will shower you with gold. Hold on. I'm
Yeah.
going to say that again. Did you hear that? Share your rarity with the world and they will shower you with gold. So
Yeah.
for the people who are saying, I don't know why am I not making ends meet, well, the moment you start living your rarity, the moment you show that you are celebrating that you're good enough, it says here, and it's a promise, they will shower you with gold.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is where the rag picking that we've been through, Daniel, is meaning so much to me because
Yeah.
I went through a stage where I wasn't good enough and didn't feel good enough. And when
Yeah.
you picked me up as my rag picker, and then Robert Hollis came into my life through you, and you guys just looked at me and said to me, but Ant, you could do this.
Yeah.
Why don't you have a YouTube channel? I went, what do you mean? Come on, dude, get one. And you know what? I actually realized I didn't have to imitate and try and be a Robert Hollis or
No.
anybody else out there. I just had to be me. And you know what?
Yeah.
I then read something that said to me, your first video won't work. Your first speech
Yeah.
won't work. Your first
Yeah.
video maker is going to
Yeah.
be off. But you know what? Start anyway. And I
Yeah.
started. And now I believe for another reason, because the gift that I bring, the gift that you bring, they will shower us with gold. Because if we are doing what God wants us to do,
Yeah.
the rewards will follow. And that's
That's
why he says,
100%.
this is it. This is the second law. And that is,
Yeah.
Daniel, top of page 99.
Proclaim your rarity. So now we have the two laws.
Mm-hmm.
One, count your blessings. One, count your blessings. And two, proclaim your rarity.
So literally, I think what God is wanting us to do is that the moment we get to this point where we repeat this information, is to say, one, count your blessings. Two,
Yeah.
proclaim your rarity. So that we actually remember to say it every single time.
Yeah.
And it says there, you have no handicaps, you're not mediocre. You're not, you force a smile because you admit your self-deception. And you know,
Yes.
just go, That's true.
Yeah,
That is true.
that was me. Now I need to be better.
That's it. So, what if your next complaint? Opportunity never seeks you? Nonsense. So, Daniel, give us some counsel there.
It
Take
says,
it up.
take counsel, and it shall come to pass. For now I give you the law of success in every venture.
That's big. That's massive.
Yeah.
Now, there's Daniel, doesn't matter what you do from now on. Like, I know that you're involved with NBC, okay? My Daily Choice. I know that you before never would have had the confidence to do anything like that. But now,
Yeah.
you're not looking at yourself. You're looking at how can you help others and add value. But because of this one thing here, and that is says the law of success in every venture. You just started saying, Daniel van Sale, you can be successful. And you
Exactly.
just refused to give up. Isn't that true?
And it's not a saying. It's not a wording. It's a law. So laws are there not to be broken. Laws are there for a reason. It's a law because it's been happening forever. And no matter what you do, it stays the same.
You know, like somebody says to me, if I hold up this mouse, if I let
Yes.
go with my fingers, what's going to happen to the mouse? The guy,
It's gonna
all looked
fall.
at him, it's going to go to the side. And we're
No,
like,
no, no, no.
what? No. It's going to drop. Why? Because of
The law
gravity.
says.
The law
Yeah.
says because of gravity. And that's just what it says, because a law is a law. And then he takes
Yeah.
us through an example and he says to us that many centuries ago, this law was given to your forefathers from a mountaintop. Some heeded the law, and lo, their life was filled with the fruit of happiness, accomplishment, gold, and peace of mind. Most listened not, for they sought magic means, devious routes, waited for the devil called luck to deliver them from riches for life. They waited in vain, just as you waited. So we were very first. We look at all these other people. Yeah, look at them. You know, they go on their luck and they what they're doing it the wrong way. And it says just as you did. And I went, oops, okay. It's like a little bit of a ka-ching. I got it. I got it.
That's also a play on, you know, the people who looked for the magic, and that's the people who are looking for the shortcuts.
True.
Let's do it better, shorter, quicker, because yeah, that's the way. Do it quicker.
But we live in a microwave
That
society, Daniel. I mean, come
exactly.
on.
Yes. That's the mindset that we taught, but it doesn't work like that. You need to give your part as well. You need to be involved with it as well. It's a growing thing. It's not going to be instant.
Yeah.
You can ask anybody that's got success. How long do you got your success? No, it's instant success. You only work 30 years to get there for the instant success.
Correct. I mean, take I think it's Colonel Sanders of Kentucky.
Yes.
That dude tried how many recipes and how many fundings. Age
Yes.
51, he only got started. And what got him going? He believed that he had a secret sauce. In fact, I run a little program called What's Your Secret Sauce? Because I really believe every single person has got some form of secret recipe.
That rarity.
And a secret sauce. Proclaim your rarity. What is your sauce? Why do they come to you to feast? They love the sauce that you bring to any equation. And that's it. Okay. So you see that the law is simple. So take us through, Daniel.
And that's also important. The law is simple. It's not complicated.
Yeah.
It's a simple thing. And here it is. Young or old, pauper or king, white or black, male or female, all can use the secret of to their advantage. For all the rules and speeches and scriptures and success on how to attain it, only one method has never failed. Never failed.
And
whoever shall compel ye to go with him 1 mile, go with him 2.
Okay, there's a clear instruction. So never again, just be mediocre. If somebody asks you to do something, don't just go a mile, go another mile. Okay.
Yeah.
Go with him 2. And then he says, then this is the third law. The secret that will produce riches and a claim beyond your dreams. Go another mile. So can we just get those 3? The first one we had was?
Count your blessings.
The second one we had?
Proclaim your rarity.
The third one now?
And now, go another mile.
Okay, so there we have 3 key components in terms of how we're going to do it. So it says there in page 99, the only certain means of success is to render more and better service than is expected of you no matter what the task may be. This is a habit followed by all successful people since the beginning of time. In other words, everybody that's been successful do more than what is requested from them. Therefore, I say, sure as the way to doom yourself to mediocrity is to perform only to work for which you are paid. Oh, you know, people that said,
Mm-hmm.
that's not my job. They lost because they have sunken into just doing the necessary to go by, to get the day by, to
Yes.
pass the time. But
Clock
here
in
it
at
says,
9, definitely clock out 5 minutes or a minute to 5.
correct. But it's clear they're cheating themselves. Daniel, take us through that
Yes.
last paragraph slowly because this hurts. Go for it.
Think not ye are being cheated if you deliver more than the silver you receive. For there is a pendulum to all life, and the sweat you deliver, if not rewarded today, will swing back tomorrow tenfold.
There you go. In other words, never again believe just to do what has to be done. The moment you
Yeah.
go another mile, go the extra mile, it will come back. It will pendulum back to you tenfold. Now,
Yeah, it adds up.
I mean, there's some skin in this game. You actually want to say to yourself, hold on. There's a reason to go another mile because here's the law that says it will pendulum and will come back
Yeah.
tenfold. And, you know, I've seen this in my life. There were times where people were really needy, and I thought to myself, but I don't have myself. And I just hear this little whisper. Remember the widow's mite. I mean, she had a little bit of flour left, and yet the prophet made it possible. And that flour went on and on
And
and
on
on
and
and
on.
was
Yeah.
a blessing. Even when you think you just don't have, it's your belief system that says, I am a rarity. I can proclaim my rarity and I go the other mile, the another mile for people, the second mile for people, because it's expected of me. And somehow I get the reward that tenfold it comes back, tenfold it comes back. Every single time when you give, when you just think you cannot afford it. Then what happens after that, Daniel?
He says the mediocre never goes another mile.
Mm-hmm.
For why should he cheat himself? He thinks. But you are not mediocre. To go another mile is a privilege you must appropriate by your own initiative. You cannot, you must not avoid it. Neglect it, do only a little as the others, and the responsibility of your failure is yours alone.
Boom. Take it right in the face, boy.
Strong words.
The responsibility is yours alone because
Yeah.
you did not do it. Well, I just think, wow, that is boomerang me to a next level because now I must take accountability because that
Yes.
responsibility is mine and mine alone. So I can't blame
Yeah.
anybody else. It's just me. It then says you can no more render service without receiving just compensation than you can withhold the rendering of it without suffering the loss of reward. Cause and effect. We all know that. Boy, cause and effect.
Yeah.
Means and ends. Seed and fruit. These cannot be separated. So whether you and I want to know it or not, that cause and effect, that literally the seed and the fruit, that all is in the process. That's the law. Cause and effect is, I mean, obviously, we don't foresee what effect we're going to have, but we're often the
Yeah.
cause of that very effect because we don't realize that it's a law, cause and effect, seed.
Yeah, it's the same with you lifting up the mouse. If you lift it up, that's a cause. But if you let it go, the effect is it's gonna go down.
That's
It's
it.
gonna fall.
That's it. And the fruit, and as I say, the effect already blooms in the cause. The end pre-exists in the means, and the fruit always is in the seed. Therefore, go another mile. Now, I think this is a play in terms of back to the spoke about that our father's seed, one of 400 million. Okay. Now, for me, it's a combination of proclaim your rarity. You're one of 400 million cells. All right. That seed that made it. I mean, whether you were swimming breaststroke, butterfly, crawl. I mean, that one seed made it. Out of all the others, you got there first. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I always think mine went backstroke. Nice and easy. Got there. Right, China. Here I am. But it's so
Now,
important. So that now the seed is now connected to the fact that
Yes.
because of who you are, because of your rarity, go another mile, because the two go together, and these are laws that will literally govern your life. Then there's a
Robert
portion.
once, my mentor Robert once said and it's a brilliant little analogy that he used the apple, and he cut open the apple and he say, it's easy to count the seeds within the apple, but only God knows how many apples will come from the seeds within that apple.
Sure. That's a mouthful. So
That's
next time I
heavy.
cut an apple, I'm going to be thinking about that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing it. And thank you, Robert Hollis, for making a difference in Daniel's life. So now it's making a difference in my life. I so appreciate that. So then after he instructs us to go another mile, he speaks about concern yourself not. Take us through that.
Concern yourself not. Should you serve an ungrateful master, serve him more.
What?
So in just in that sentence,
What?
it's like, yeah, an ungrateful person is like, don't not serve him, but serve him more.
More. You know, that's a paradigm shift. I think for most people, this is the paradigm shift. So in essence, it is not who you are, it's whose you are. And because of whose you are, even the guy that doesn't deserve it, serve him more.
Yes.
Just, it's like a punch on the nose, man. Come on, make that difference. All right, so I just want to take us to then something that I've underlined here. You cannot command success. You can only deserve it. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So when we work with this person that doesn't deserve it, you cannot command it. You can only deserve it. So by going the extra mile, by doing more than, even if that person didn't deserve it, that is how we get it. So Daniel, what's the second part of the sentence as we start wrapping up?
And now you know the greatest secrets in the order of merit. It's rare reward. Go another mile.
So let's just contextualize that. So started with you cannot command success, you can only deserve it. And now you know the great secret necessary in order to merit is rare reward. So what is that secret?
Go another mile.
Go another mile. Well, friends, this book is radically changing lives around the planet. And you have an opportunity to go another mile and maybe help and place this book into the hands of somebody else. And it may just make the difference that you have been looking for. So, Daniel, can you just summarize me for tonight? What do you take out of this as we wrap up?
It's the same thing as what I said always. It's like, you can only do better if you know better. And for me, it's about helping others. Just as you've been helped through your life, through my mentor, Robert helped me, I now have to help other people to see the same and to connect with their rarity, to connect with their future and help them realize that they are not just mediocre, they are rare and they are worth themselves, loving themselves.
And from my side, you know what I get out of tonight? And that is that as we go through those laws of counting our blessings, proclaiming our rarity, and going another mile, we literally become difference makers because we make a difference in the life of others. And the moment the focus moves away from us to other people, there's a promise that says, your rarity, your skill, they will shower you with gold. In other words, do what you've been called to do, and the money will flow towards you. You can't stop it because that is God's reward for your efforts. So,
Amen.
Leaders are readers. I want to thank you for tonight. I thank my co-host here, Daniel van Sale. Thank you that you were able to just elaborate. I can go through. Thank you for part 3 of chapter 9 in terms of God's greatest miracle from the book Og Mandino. And I can't wait to be back with you next week as we take you to law number 4. And don't forget, you are worth it. Take care.
Bye.
Where is